Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our. I'm forgetting the numbers. We already, I think, we've done 4 pitch events, online pitch events, which takes place every Tuesday, any Tuesday from 5 to 7 o'clock UK time. Any Tuesday, we bring six, today probably even seven founders to pitch their great idea. And from the audience, please, whoever who is attending and watching us from YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you can write your questions. We take requests to bring them to the founders. Uh, Thank you again to all our funders, which I'm going to present one by one with while pitching. And thank you to everyone who's watching today our pitch event. Again, we are live any Tuesday from 5 to 7 o'clock UK time. Now, let me start with the first one. We don't want to waste any time. Amos, how are you?
I'm
Can you hear me,
fine,
Amos?
Max. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Thank you
Yes, I
so
can
much.
hear you loud and clear.
Thank you so much for coming and stay with us and tell us your story. Before start talking about your startup, shall we tell who you are?
Well, you've already introduced me by name. I'm Musumbusi from the beautiful Tanzania in East Africa, home of Mount Kilimanjaro and the Serengeti National Park. Looking forward to the show.
Thank you so much, Amos. So let's talking about your venture.
Perfect. So, I'm the founder of Twenzao, the startup that is building Africa's leading carpooling platform. So, what is this Twenzao? A carpooling platform connecting owners of private cars and passengers who are driving in the same direction. What is important to note is that it is already a common practice in many African countries for passengers to pay informal travel middlemen so that they can wave down private cars for them. That's how far we have come, having released our MVP in Tanzania in January this year. We already have over 16,000 registered users, over 1,800 ride bookings, not to forget that we won big at the Tanzania Digital Awards. Our goal is to be established in at least 40 African countries within 5 years. What problem are we trying to solve? The car owner faces ever increasing fuel prices. And when you drive alone for many hours on end, you could get sleepy, lose your attention, and even cause accidents. On the rider side, can you believe that in Tanzania, long distance buses leave exclusively in the morning? Meaning you miss your morning bus, you've missed your journey for the day. Comfort is also a major concern because many of these long distance buses are quite uncomfortable. I keep mentioning buses because they are currently the main form of transport in Tanzania. In the middleman style of travel, safety is a major concern, and the travel middlemen are a nightmare for car owners and passengers alike because they try to take advantage of both sides. Twenzao offers a very simple solution. All that you have to do as a car owner is to enter where you are driving from, where you are driving to, along with additional ride parameters. Sit back, relax, and wait for the bookings to come in. On the rider's side, find a matching ride, view details about the ride and about the car owner. If you're happy with what you see, place your booking, and just like that, these two sides are happily connected for a ride through the Twenzao application. Concretely, this is our value proposition. Both sides get to save money. Twenzao offers numerous safety features for its users. Users are able to conveniently make travel arrangements at the comfort of their homes or wherever it is that they are. And in our own small way, we are contributing to the reduction of CO2 by reducing the number of cars traveling with vacant seats. How large a market are we actually talking about here? The global carpooling market is valued at over $7 billion. In Africa, that market is $500 million. Tenzao aims to capture $300 million of the African market. And according to the UN Africa Review report on transport, a whooping 90% of the passenger traffic in Africa is by road. Yet the current public transport offering is far from sufficient. And as we speak, there is not a single established carpooling platform operating across Africa, at the scale of BlaBlaCar that is currently operational in 22 countries of Europe. That is how the competition landscape looks like for Twenzao. We distinguish ourselves through a great emphasis on safety and by offering a highly localized product in terms of the language used and the nature of the workflows within the application. Our business model is a simple 10% commission structure. Here's an example of a rider paying $10, $9 going to the car owner, $1 remaining on the Twenzao platform. If we can do that 48 million times a year, we are talking of a revenue of $48 million. This 48 million is not arbitrary, it's elaborated further in our financial plan. What we are requesting of you is $500,000, which will give us a runway of 18 months to be used primarily for marketing and further software development. Our main asset, the legendary team that's working on Twenzao, creme de la creme in our respective fields. As you can see, local and international press love Twenzao. We hope you will too. With that, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Amos. I really like it. Carpooling has been quite on the go for a while, but from what I can see in where you are, which means, let me say, one of the most beautiful place on earth, Tanzania, is still
Yes.
not completely developed. Now, let me, my first question is very simple, which is many are concerned when it comes to carpooling. You never know who is the other person, right? How you address this problem?
How do we address this problem? Nobody can offer a ride or book a ride on the Twenzao platform before having registered. When they register, they provide the information, and we don't take all the information as it is. We verify some of this information, like the phone numbers, and all phone numbers in use in Tanzania are government registered. So that offers a security layer. On top of that, we are tracking all rides that are happening through Twenzao to know at where people are at any given point in time. And we have safety features that are particularly meant for women, for example. There's the possibility of ladies only rides. The way that works is that somebody participating in such, if you're offering such a ride, you yourself have to be female. If you are male, the application won't let you offer your ride. Similarly, you can only book such a ride if you are yourself female. Then, of course, the review system and rating helps us to be able to constantly improve the quality of the user accounts that are on Twenzao.
Me, that's perfectly clear. When it comes to the business model, right? Who is going to decide the
Right.
price? How the pricing is built up?
Brilliant question.
The price.
There is an institution, a government body that governs the rates that different transport modes are using in the country. We are using the same rate that the buses are using in the country. We are using it on Twenzao. And the way we use that is that when the car owner is offering their ride, they are given that price as a proposal based on the distance. Then they are free to alter that price up and down within a certain acceptable range. We stipulate what the acceptable range is. Right now, for example, we have set it to be 25% up and down, what we
So
propose as the
you
proposed
have
price.
a range where you're going to adjust the price, and they need to comply into this range based on rating
Perfect,
given
exactly.
by the state. Actually, my last one is you are going to compete with big pocket guys. How do you manage it? Is 500K enough for the next 18 months? And if it's enough, uh, how do you how do you believe you can compete in scaling your business against the like of Uber, BlaBlaCar, whoever they are?
Another brilliant question from you, Max. Yes, indeed, 500K is enough for 18 months. You'll be surprised just how low the cost of doing business is here in Tanzania. Labor is cheap. You can get to do a lot of stuff at a rather cheap prices. For that reason, we also don't need the largest salaries for ourselves. The way we can compete with larger players, first, we have to emphasize on safety and keep improving our safety protocol because that is the major concern, I would say, for people taking part in this style of travel. Are we safe? How do we know we are safe? So we have to focus on that. And another thing, we have to always keep our products as localized as possible for in whatever regions that we expand into, because we intend to expand across Africa to other countries in Africa. And wherever we'll be going, we'll make sure that the app is available in the local language and the nature of the interaction of people with the app is really aligned to how people already perceive travel. That is very important. And that's something that many players overlook because some players just take a foreign product, a foreign concept, introduce it into their market without proper localization. That is a mistake that we intend to avoid at all costs.
Thank you, Amos. Please stay with us. We are all back in the end. But thank you so much for now for your great pitch and your beautiful startup. Thank you so much. Talk soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Here we are. Roy, thank you so much for coming, Roy, first of all. Before we start, please give an introduction to yourself and after we can start talking about your startup, okay?
Okay, so I introduction about myself. So my name is Roy. Actually, my name is Roy. It is a sound that doesn't exist in English. It's a sound in Hebrew and Arabic. And I'm from Israel. I'm the founder and CEO of Lead Spotting. I've been building ventures in the past 10 years. I've been serving with roles like I was the manager of the Israeli office for the Abu Dhabi investment office. I've been doing business in over 15 countries. And I'm running Lead Spotting in the past 5 years, and we want to be a big company and amazing and provide great revenue to our great profit to our investors.
Thank you so much, Roy. I have so many friends in Israel. Great founders come from Israel. Indeed, you have very huge, history in creating unicorns. So I'm very happy to have you today, as anyone else. Absolutely. Let's start talking about Lead Spotting, please.
So. Good evening, everybody, again. So I'm going to do a very quick pitch. It's only 5 minutes slots. I'm going to try to be very precise to the point. So Lead Spotting. Lead Spotting, we have a brand of transforming the outreach into science. So what is Lead Spotting? Lead Spotting is an AI company. We're a software company that provides what we call an outreach optimization platform. It's a platform for salespeople who want to find customers, who want to close customers. We're talking about B2B company. And this platform, Lead Spotting, can transform any sales guy from a one-guy sales point to an efficient marketing machine. We give salespeople the tool, the most critical tool they need to close deals. So what is the gap in the market? Okay, prospecting, the task of finding customers. It sounds easy, but it's quite complex, okay? The war with digital transformation, Zoom calls like this, has created from one hand opportunity, from the other hand, many obstacles of how to close deals. A sales guy today has to deal with many tools. He has to find companies. He has to find the right email addresses. He has to write the right message to the right prospect. He's competing with a lot of people trying to get the attention of their clients. And the result of that is that sales people are finding many difficulties, and it's really higher acquisition cost and lower conversion rate. For that specific problem, okay, we have a mission. And our mission is to make salespeople work more effective and more efficient by creating a single tool that can answer all of their prospecting needs, from discovery of a company into managing a closed deal. So this is our platform, our sales optimization platform. But something, instead of talking and presenting a presentation, I'm going to show you, okay? Lead Spotting is the platform. We're not talking about science fiction. We're not talking about, it's a platform that already exists and sell. The platform has multiple interfaces. The basic one is a company search engine. We build a database of 25 million companies worldwide. So if me as a sales guy, I want to find companies, let's say I want to find companies in the US. So I go here, I click on the US, I got 5 million records I can search. I'm looking for VCs in the US. I do a click here, and the system shows me 5,000 venture capital firms. I can download the company data, and I can search for people, prospect, top management, or any other position I want. And the system generates me lists, okay? List of people, their position, their company, their location, their email address with a validation score, and their LinkedIn. And I can find people, I can also enrich people, I can also verify email. And also the platform has an interface on LinkedIn itself. LinkedIn is the biggest social media for advertisement, for business. And when I stand someone on LinkedIn, I can find his email, I can find his phone number, I can add him to the CRM, and I can also generate personalized messages. Instead of reaching Karen, I can just click her. I can click on Karen. In a second, I got a personalized message, and which I can send to her. And the system shows me here, on top of that, also analytics of how many messages I sent, what was the response rate. I can also, when I try to connect to someone on LinkedIn, the system will also give me like personalized connection message recommendation for that specific person. So we have multiple functionalities on our platform. Now, on top of that, I want to talk about something very strong about lead spotting, which is our team. So we got myself, I got Shiri, who's my VP marketing. We got Dan, who's working us to build this platform. We got Robert from the US. Rob Brim, he used to be, he's a sales legend. He has over 30 years of experience in the US enterprise sales. He used to run the C as a field glass when he sold that to $1.4 billion to SAP. As I mentioned, lead spotting, we're a young company, but we got a lot of clients in more than 10 countries with big brands as AB and Bev. In Israel, we sell to government agencies, to Israeli Export Institute. We got over 200 clients, and we are looking to grow. So we show you our platform. As I mean, our software model, software as a service. Okay, we sell licenses to our platform. We got licenses we sell with $250 a month for $2,400 a year. And we also have starter licenses, and we also have VIP clients, which mean clients that pay us over $10,000 to $100,000 per year. So this is what lead spotting is about. So first of all, I'm here because we are growing, okay? We are growing and we want to fulfill our mission. Today we have clients in over 15 countries, but we want to increase our marketing efforts in the US and the UAE. We're planning to office in Dubai next year, and later also in New York and Miami. And we are raising now between $500,000 to $1 million, which some of them is already committed. Okay, we have a platform in Israel, we have existing investors, and we would love you guys, if you have questions, let me know. And we'd love you guys also to join into our fundraise. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Roy. Let me start with a very simple one. I do believe many did the same. You have been talking about LinkedIn. What's the difference? And is Sales Navigator something that compete with you?
Okay, perfect. So first of all, we're definitely in a market where there's a lot of traction and a lot of competition, but we develop unique capabilities. First of all, on Sales Navigator, you don't get the email address of your prospect. If someone doesn't answer you on LinkedIn and you want to outreach on your email, how can you get his email? So we bring you his email in the best accuracy in the market. Now, you've seen on our platform that next to each email, there is a green icon, okay? Which means that if we manage with our own private algorithm to validate that email address, and we get 96% accuracy, the best in the market, okay? So now we also have AI. We can do personalized messages on LinkedIn that LinkedIn Sales Navigator doesn't bring you, okay? We are improving our algorithm with also dynamic messages, which is based on the company's dynamic images. So for example, Maximilian, if I want to outreach you on LinkedIn, and I said to hi, Maximilian, I want to say you something. Or I say, hi, Maximilian, I was very impressed from the webinar last week. Okay, I want to say you something. These type of personalization capabilities increase significantly the conversion rate. So this is what we're doing as a company. We are building not only data and tools, we're building also outreach optimization. So we're bringing something which is different. It's a different level than what's available on the market today. If I answer your question?
Absolutely. You are already generating sales. Now, for what has been done today, what are the best customer for you, clients?
Well, we got multiple clients. We got clients in almost sector you can imagine, from shipping to agriculture to tech companies to government agencies. The main clients we are focusing on are tech companies who sell software just like us in SaaS model, okay? Because they have salespeople who do sales calls like us on Zoom calls, and they need a lot of contacts and the outreach on LinkedIn. And we're looking to send to the tech sector mainly. That's why we want to operate in Dubai, New York, and Miami, because these are growing tech hubs that we want to focus on our sales activity. Okay, so we have customers in almost any region. We have also partners like the Israeli Export Institute, but we are aiming mainly to focus on tech companies as clients.
This is my last. I mean, selling on LinkedIn, it's very tough. Sales Navigator, whatever you like. The conversion, let me say, or any maybe 100 message, you get three, four. It's very, very low. And that's the reality. Now, in your case, how can you improve this conversion rate for how many sales I'm trying to do? Hey, how
First of
many?
all, if you check my response, first of all, Massimiliano, you said that you maybe for 100 messages, maybe 3 or 4 answers. I say the following: you don't know. If you don't have a tool that enables you to measure, you don't know. Because usually on email campaigns, you do A/B testing, right? You send 500 emails like that, and you measure everything. Then you send 500 emails in a different format, and you measure. With LinkedIn, it's impossible. Okay. So, but with our tool, it is possible. It is possible to generate templates. It is possible to measure. It is possible to use AI and dynamic info. And our clients have really high conversion rate. Now we also recommend our clients to do like flow based. For example, we have a flow for a happy birthday on LinkedIn. We have a flow for when someone approves you on LinkedIn and you send him a message. So this type of flow, this type of negative. First of all, they save you time. Then you can do A/B testing, and then your conversion goes up. And this is a matter of experience.
I will try for sure. I want to say because I really find selling for what can be done on LinkedIn extremely tough. Very much so. So I'm very welcome. I'm very welcome.
I'll send you the link afterwards. You can try. We can do a pilot.
I'm very welcome to try and test your platform because I really want to see it. That's a major problem, not for me. I think for everyone, absolutely for everyone.
And that's why there's a big market, right?
Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much, Roy. Stay with us. We are back soon, and thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you, Haristo. I really hope pronouncing your name perfect. I don't think so.
No, it's great. It's great, Max. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. How's it doing? All good?
Doing great. How you doing?
All good. All good. And thank you so much for coming. So let's give an introduction to yourself, and after we move straight to bye stuttering.
My name is Christo. I'm from Bulgaria. I grew up in the United States where I went to college, Franklin Marshall College, one of the great schools, one of the first colleges in the United States. I then became one of the biggest and most celebrated artists in my country with over 30 number one hits in hip hop and over 100 million views on YouTube. I also starred in 15 Hollywood movies. And I've been also doing since childhood. I was passionate about coding and 3D animation. So this is a passion of mine, which translated into this app that we're doing. Um, it's a therapy that treats stuttering successfully in 25 days. It's pretty revolutionary. It's actually my mother's initial business. We started in Turkey, Istanbul, with a physical speech center, and then we moved on to Bulgaria and Spain. And we were able, in the past 22 years, we were able to help 5,000 people overcome stuttering. So yeah, Bye Bye Stuttering. It's an app based on our 22-year experience in physical work with patients to treat stuttering. It's a very underestimated problem. It's a problem that leads to all kinds of mental health issues if left untreated, like depression and social life problems. people victims of bullying, and it can lead to all kinds of negative consequences if left untreated. People make fun of it. They don't take it seriously. I actually get a lot of questions from investors when I pitch, is that really a problem? It is a problem. It's huge, and it's actually more than stuttering. Our patients are young, active people between 5 and 35 people, 35 years of age, and a lot of the times they can't even speak. Like, it's complete blockage of their speech. So it's not actually stuttering. It's a speech impediment that makes them completely incapacitated to communicate verbally. I'll show you a little demo.
Hi, my name is Max. I'm here to help you overcome stuttering and start a new life.
Години от град Кърджали. Учила в езикова гимназия Христо Ботев.
Здравейте! Аз съм Мария Тонева, на 17 години от град Кърджали и уча в езикова гимназия Христо Ботев.
I'm here to actually say that I'm one of those who managed to say bye by stuttering. The 25-day program gave me the opportunity to regain my confidence and build my fluency. Right now, I can proudly say that I can talk perfectly. I want to deal with diplomacy and politics. I want to use my voice to change the world. I want to use my voice for work, for inspiration, for love, for relationships with people. I want to use my voice for everything. And I'm here to proudly say that I don't stutter. I talk, and I talk loudly.
Yeah. So yeah, the effect is pretty fast. We do help these people get started a new life. We are using in our app, we're using AI 3D avatar that basically replaces the speech therapist, because we've identified over our extensive experience, we've identified over 5 different types of stuttering, and basically the work is pretty repetitive. So we were able to structure the whole app in a way that the AI will teach itself pretty quickly how to deal with each type, identify each type of stuttering, and deal with it as quickly and as effectively as possible. We're dealing with a market of 55 billion, and we can tap into 15 billion of it in North America, Europe, and other developed countries. 80 million people in the world stutter. It's between 1 and 5%. Some children grow out of it, but 1 to 2% of the people stay with that problem, and it's a big chunk of people. It's it's like twice the size of Germany. Pretty much, our competition are primarily speech therapists and couple of centers around the world that are actually very expensive. Speech therapists are not effective. They drag their patients for years, and they come to us pretty frustrated. And the few places that actually do some good are very expensive. You have to be on location for about a month, and it's just for the course, it's between $2,000 and $5,000 per course. So if you have to stay there for a month, it becomes really difficult to do for a middle class family, or even lower than that. The whole advantages that we provide we're going to be available on a smartphone, and our patients will be able to do our course anywhere at any time. With personalized assistance, and we know what we're doing. This is not actually a startup. We've been doing it for 20 years. We're just digitizing what we know. So we can guarantee pretty much success rate over 90%, which in tech, in health tech, or in health in general is extremely high. We don't use any drugs. There's no special devices, no sophisticated breathing techniques. You can do it at any time and any place. It's pretty flexible. So even if someone needs to, refresh their speaking patterns before an interview or a date, they can do it at any time. It's pretty much what we're aiming for, to be flexible and to be able to scale. Because right now with the physical centers, we can take only so much people. Our business model is B2C with an initial fee, a subscription, and some extra programs. Then we also have B2B, which will be providing our software to speech therapists around the world. We don't aim to put anybody out of work. On the contrary, we're aiming to solve the problem and help speech therapists use our experience and our what we've done. And we have a referral program, B2C2C. We'll be acquiring customers through social media, referrals, partners. We're going to be running ads. And we have an extensive experience with PR. It's a very kind of PR worthy. Our results that catch the attention of a lot of medias. We've been featured on multiple medias around the world, including CNN, national televisions in Bulgaria, Turkey, Spain. So when you solve such a problem, especially of such a big chunk of people, and you change their lives, media's usually like that. So we're going to be using that to get into the news. We've been we had funding from 2 European Union funds, $60,000 each. And for now, we have an MVP in Bulgarian and an MVP in English. We just started selling last month. We had our first 10 sales, and we're on our way to make between 200 and 500 and 1,500 sales next year, which is going to get us to revenue of $1.8 million to $5 million in 2024. We're looking for something between $500 and $1 million to get us to that point. And we feel pretty good because, as I mentioned, this is not a startup. We know everything about this kind of, you want to call it it's a business, but it's also a very kind of sophisticated sphere. Hold on one second. Our team, my mother, Mariana Spasova, she's a speech therapist. She's also an engineer. Nikolai Dimitrov is a developer, architect. He's built many buildings in Sofia. And he's a marketing expert with 30 years of experience. And I am, as I mentioned, a very successful hip-hop artist, a director, 3D animator, and an actor. So that's pretty much it. Just to conclude, 22 years of experience, more than 5,000 people that have already gone through our program from over 40 countries in 5 languages. We've been featured on CNN and almost every national TV network in several European countries. And we just, with this project, we just aim to, it's a great business, but we're aiming to solve the problem because so many people need our help. And we understand the responsibility that we have. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Easton. I mean, stuttering is a major problem. We live in a society where we communicate, we talk. So if we can't talk, if we can't communicate, you are simply out of the society. So I find stuttering an unbelievable huge problem. And for what I can see, as even a big addressable market. So you are very welcome in doing what they're doing, not only for business purpose, but also because you have so many people who are absolutely in need. I do agree with you. My question is, what's the journey when someone is coming to your application? How does it work? I mean, if I want to use your application, uh, what I should do, and how long does it take for me to see the first result?
Well, the journey is pretty simple. You have to first of all, be motivated to be able to be able to fix your stuttering. You got to be able to be motivated. So people that come are already motivated. They've read about it. They've been Most of them have been going to speech therapists unsuccessfully. There's a lot of disappointment also. So the first step is, we convince them and talk to them about how important it is to do it. We show them our results, and we move to the point where you can immediately start doing the exercises. The results come pretty quickly. They come in about 10 days. So in about 10 calendar days, people stop stuttering. What we do is we rewire with different exercises, we rewire their brain to forget the old way of speaking and learn a new way of speaking. We basically don't cure stuttering. We just teach people how to speak in a new way, different techniques. We bring their attention to breathing, when to breathe before speaking, how fast to speak, what intonation to use, because people that don't stutter, we don't think about it. We don't think about how we speak. We don't think about when we breathe, how we open our mouths. But when you have that problem, when you've had it for years, you forget all these things. So we need to, like, kind of teach them again how to breathe, make them self-aware, when to breathe, how to relax, what to think when you speak, in what pace, how to pace yourself. So it's very much it's very much a combination of motivation and self-awareness and specific things that people need to think about when they speak. And after the 25 days, they have to keep exercising. It's like learning a new skill. You can learn how to swim in 25 days, or you can learn how to ride a bicycle in 25 days. But if you don't keep practicing, you can forget. So they have to keep practicing for at least 6 months, up to a year, which is it's recommended that they stay with subscription with us, which will be is very affordable. And that's pretty much it. They have to want it, they have to be motivated, and it's only after the first 10 days when they see the first result, which is pretty impressive.
Thank you. I mean, you already say that's an ongoing process. You do your first 3 weeks, and after you keep going, keep training. We train, we do workout. If you stop workout, you go back where you were before. And I do
Yep.
believe this process applies almost to everything in life.
Yes.
My question is, now, in terms of people coming to your platform, where do you see today the major traction? Because you say you are in UK, you're in Bulgaria, but you are serving already many countries. Where the major traffic come from?
Right now, mostly Bulgaria, and we actually are still working on our English version. It's done in terms of we have the MVP, but exactly that's what we need the funds for, to finish our product and to market in English speaking countries. So that's our next step. We are pretty strong on the Balkans, Turkey, Bulgaria. We got even people from Spain and South America. We have few Americans who've joined, who've been our patients, but we need to scale to other markets, and this is what we need the funds for.
My last one is more technical, but do you get into any medical devices which need permission, or you can just run without any problems?
No, there's no devices. We don't need permission for anything. There's no medications. It's basically a very complex and sophisticated tutorial. We are teaching them how to do certain, how to speak in a certain way, with like different exercises based on our extensive experience. It's a long experience. So in the 22 years, we were able to pinpoint all the little details that would need to be tweaked in order to get the result. And this is what you get in the 25 days. You get this specific kind of very specific teaching tutorial on what to change, how to read, how to breathe, with certain exercises. There's nothing medical, there's no devices, there's no medications, nothing like that.
This is my last one, very last, and after we move immediately forward, is you are using AI, adopting AI. Is your course moduling differently or based on the people using your application, or is the same course for everyone?
It's definitely not the same course for everyone. This is where the AI comes in. When you start the course, we are recording a session with each patient, identifying the specific stuttering problems they have, because there's different types of stuttering. And there's also different types of development during the course. Some people take more time. Some people are more traumatized. So there's a different approach to everyone. It is personalized. We are monitoring every patient right now. As soon as we get enough numbers with us, our AI will be able to do that on their own. But we're screening everything, and everything is customized. There's things that are pretty much the same, but there's tweaks for everyone that are very specific and that are really important to address. So we're not missing anything. It's a big responsibility for us. We have to, when you think about it. Every person is a different fate. They come with big hopes. They cry. Their mothers and their fathers cry with us. It's an emotional ride, and we understand how important it is for us to do our job well. We're not taking this lightly. This is a very serious project. And one of the reasons we're actually doing this, looking for expansion, for investors to make it better, to reach more people, is because there's so many people around the world who are reaching out to us and they need help. And we can't do anything for them right now, but we are definitely working on it.
Thank you so much, Ayrton. Thank you for coming, and thank you for what you're doing. Please stay.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Sam, are you here?
Yes.
We missed you last time. I hope today we can make it.
Yes, I'm glad I made it this time.
Okay, so let's give an introduction to yourself, and after we can move straight forward to fractal vision.
Hello, my name is Sam, and I am a chaos theory to the understanding of financial markets. Now, I'm also founder, I should say, of fractal visions and market chaotists at fractal visions. So I will be telling you something important that fractal visions has done, something important, and I hope very interesting.
Please go.
Now, let us begin with, who are we? Fractal Visions is a startup focused on bringing a new type of trading platform to markets. Orbit the tool changes the way markets are traded. We combine mathematical efficacy with visual stimuli to redefine the trading experience into a visual one. Now, this is key. because a comparison of the effect of our technology on markets is like that between Windows and command line computing. Everyone will recall that when Microsoft Windows replaced command line computing with the Windows interface, what happened was huge. What happened was there was a seismic shift. Lots and lots of people from all walks of life came into computing, personal computing, because it was made so easy for everybody to interface applications and get their productivity really high. Now, we are saying the same thing here. It's a similar frame in the sense that we have here an accurate tool, a mathematically accurate tool, simple to trade, and therefore simple to win. That should attract a whole range of people into the financial markets, we believe. Now, we also say this. We say it's a professional grade trading tool for any level traders. Point here is we are saying any person or business can aspire to professional level incomes, regardless of experience. It will not take long, to cotton on to this very simple to use tool. But at the same time, it gives you the same kind of access that the professional now has, to income. What this means is that it does not matter that you are a Wall Street trader. And it does not matter that you are a basic, you are a simple novice. The tool is visual. It's easy to learn and use. And therefore, anyone and anyone at all can profit consistently. But then you have to ask, why is Orbit so powerful? Orbit is an equation of the form known as a recurrence relation. And what does a recurrence relation say? It says simply that the next value depends only on the immediately previous value. Now, when we look at what we have on screen, in Nigeria we say jaga jaga. What's jaga jaga? Zigzags. This is virtually a contortion, in movement. But what happens here is this. Given the equation, at the time price was at 3, the market was priced at 3, it was a mathematical certainty told to the trader, at 3, that the next point is a 5. In other words, between the 3 and the 5 is a certainty. And Orbit the tool communicates this to the trader so that he acts promptly to gain. By this same functioning, what happens at a 5 green, where we write begin here, is the same. At that exact point, Orbit knew to tell the trader that in fact the next, the end point is a 5. And so the trader is able to navigate between the first green 5 and the last green 5. In mathematics, what is happening might look, rather odd if I say, at 3 we knew, at 5 we knew. But what is happening is understood as a homeomorphism, in the category of topology. And really, what is going on are called bijections. It's a transformation of the low value at 5 green to a high value at the red 5. And what the issue is that bijections are the process by which it is achieved. Now, this equation defines the market. That's what we're saying. What I've just said is a very serious matter, because I do not think there is anywhere else in the world where somebody has said he has the equation to the market. But we at Fractal Vision say we do, and this is it. So when you weaponize a system, weaponize a tool with an equation, what do you get? You get a platform that is an expression of the equation. So all the icons you see on the screen, all the information that gets passed to the trader in real time to guide his trading comes from the fact of the equation driving the tool. And that is why Orbit the tool is so unique. It changes the way trading is done forever. Now, the other thing you want to understand about Orbit the tool is this. Orbit the tool talks trading to the trader in real time. It is intelligent. So it reads the market and offers the following. Just follow me here. You know, it says fluctuant, rotation high. It's speaking of the long-term market marked L. But in the medium market, in the medium term, it's telling the trader, look, we have a fluctuant that is right now going down. It will go back up, hence the down up arrow, but right now it's going down. And in the short term, it tells the trader, flag up, divergence K cross down, which means that keep trading down. That's where we are moving to in the next, a few hours to 24 hours. In other words, the trader is not confused about what is going on in the market. Trade risk tells the trader, do not chance any trades, any trades up, because it is risky to trade up. So it is green, and so on and so forth. The point here, though, is to tell you that it is possible now for a trader who has very little experience to be comfortable trading what used to be one of the most complex tasks in the world. Trading is really, really tough. And therefore, people have kept away. Think of all the kids that would want to pay their school fees if it's as easy as we have made it. And all kinds of people, all kinds of businesses that will coalesce around, models that have Orbit behind them driving their profits. Right. So it is not a usual trading tool. It is not designed to be. Its job is not to trade. Its job is to help the trader win over and over again. It is a new kind of platform. Trading has never seen it before now. It's a reference platform. For instance, if some old-time trader, who, doesn't, believe that he wants to change his pattern, use something new, says that he's good enough to compete with Orbit, we say, yeah, put Orbit on your laptop and tell us one time, just one time, when you are right and Orbit is wrong. That's why we say Orbit is correct 100 out of 100 times. You cannot beat it, and it is simple to use, and therefore we expect that it will bring many, many people, many more people into the financial market, sort of democratizing the whole thing. All right. Now, not in mathematics, in marketing, there is an analysis called semantic differentials, right? This is a variant on semantic differentials, a spontaneous capture, where you have two traders, doing the same thing, testing Orbit the tool for the first time, basically, and feeling the same way, excited, really excited. We cannot read everything on screen. We go to the business. So how does it work? This is a SaaS model, a software as a service model. So we want access via the internet, via, an internet platform. Users subscribe, and we expect an estimate 100,000 users in the very first year. How do we get 100,000 users? What we do is pre-launch, we do free trials. We believe, as we understand the psychology of traders, that, more is always better because they make more using Orbit, they certainly will stick by it. And then we have the brokerage sphere, which is another powerful hub for traders. Now let's do earning power. All we are saying, a simple projection here is, for instance, 100,000 users, paying $250 a month, annualized gross, we're talking 300 million in the first year. So we're doing a growth product in a growth market, okay? So this is Orbit, the tool. For all of that, what are we asking? $500,000, a ratio that suggests zero, nothing virtually, for the kind of money we can generate. Do not forget, the market, in fact, right now is 22 million people, 22 million traders. And so what happens is Orbit brings his own energy, people come around. We're saying also right here now that we have, if we get the money today, that we count month zero. By the 12th month, we are making money. We have the prototype, so it's just an upgrade that allows us to put it in the cloud and distribute it to people. Now, a lot of what we have said here is mathematics. It can be verified. Usually, when you talk of a business, you want to do due diligence differently. Here, we suggest that you start with the mathematics. Find out for yourself, is it true what these guys are saying? Because if it is true, if the mathematics is true, if the equation is correct, the business cannot fail. It's as simple as that. Thank you.
Sam, thank you so much. We don't have that much time, but let me ask you, what's the stage today of the platform? And my second question is, you said before, actually you can't trade your platform. Am I right? Or you can trade your platform?
No, answering the second question first. You can trade the platform. The platform is the perfect trader. But there is nobody fast enough to trade it, so that he wins 100 out of 100 times. The tool is correct 100 out of 100 times, but you're not fast enough. You have to eat, you have to sleep. There are all kinds of interruptions in your life. Yeah. So, but what it does for you is that it leads you, to trade correctly all of the time. So every time you trade, you are more or less certain to win. That's what it does. In terms of where is it now, I'm using it right here. I can show you on screen, right? But that's the prototype. It's not secure enough because this is money. So we cannot let it out, right? Unless we secure it enough, put it in the cloud, right? So that nobody can reach the back end, because that's where all my codes are. And we don't want the codes out because it took 10 years to build.
May I say that's an educational trading platform? May I?
There is what?
An educational trading platform. You're educating how to trade.
No. It's not. This is a tool for professionals and for novices. Anybody who wants to make money, who wants to trade professionally in the market, needs access to Orbit, the tool. It's a market model that you use, to make money. There's nothing educational about it. Okay. It is educational in the sense that, it shifts you into the realm of chaos theory, which is not what is used in trading now. People do things like technical analysis, fundamental analysis, non-sciences that have not a clue what the dynamics of the market is. Chaos is about dynamics, and that's why we got the equation and put it together in the way we have.
Thank you so much, Sam. Please stay with us, and thank you so much for coming. We are back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shana, I really hope I'm pronouncing right.
Yeah, Shauna.
How's it
going? Good. Just avoiding winter if I can.
Okay, we're still okay. It's not that cold, but it will come. So let's start giving an introduction, and after we can move straight forward. Please, let's try to get into the 5 minutes with end and wildlife. But please, before giving introduction to yourself.
So originally I come from investment banking. I set up endangered wildlife because I've been working on this since 2005, trying to find a solution to be able to link the finance world with the conservation world, because normally they're running two parallels. But I've got a fairly unique background, which I'll go into, and found a way to actually join the two worlds together.
So let's start walking to the business.
So good evening. My name is Shana Gavron. I am the CEO of Endangered Wildlife. We are a multi-award winning ESG software development company that is trying to solve the solution of biodiversity by calculating the financial value of individual species of biodiversity and biodiversity richness, so that you can actually understand it in a language that everyone understands, which is essentially money. So as I mentioned a bit about myself, I come academically with a background in both finance and in conservation related subjects. 15 years as a sell-side institutional equity analyst, been working on this since 2005. So I'm quite uniquely positioned to be able to cater, as say, to find that link between conservation and finance. Brought together a team which is very multidisciplinary, taking into account environmental statistics, IT, and financial economics, plus the support from the marketing department. So what is actually the issue? Essentially, ESG interest is exploding. We are seeing more and more people looking at how to integrate ESG into portfolios, into decision making. Regulations are changing. People are starting to have to take into account biodiversity. And we need to start recognizing that biodiversity is our only solution to climate crisis. We'll never solve the climate crisis without solving the biodiversity crisis first. Everything is interconnected, and people are too focused currently on carbon, but carbon is only one small part of the entire story. So with this in mind, we're essentially saying, to be able to actually integrate biodiversity into the decision-making process, we need to be able to understand it, because without being able to understand and value something, you can't actually make a decision on it. So what is the solution? Well, we've developed the biodiversity evaluator, which essentially allows you to take sustainability to a new level. It allows you to literally calculate a financial value for a species. So, for example, I can say to you, on average, one red squirrel in Scotland is worth £1,900, or equivalently, one Bengal tiger in Bangladesh is worth approximately €845,000. Now, when I say something like that to you, you can immediately associate with that and understand what we're talking about, instead of just saying there's one red squirrel. So our biodiversity evaluator, the software itself is currently under development. It takes into account auditable and credible data relating to economics, finance, statistics, environment, and environmental statistics, to allow you to start to calculate these values. Now, essentially, we're trying to build this up so that anyone would be able to value any species anywhere without the need for any sort of expert knowledge. I kind of call it the biodiversity for dummies. You want to know what the value is, you plug in the species, you plug in the location, and you'll get a value out of that. We've done about over 130 evaluations. We produce these reports on a consulting basis while we are busy building up the software. At the same time, we have our environmental footprint calculator, which again takes it beyond just the carbon measurements. It actually allows you to understand how you can make small differences basically to the environment by having a bit of behavioral change. So is that switching off the lights? Is that stopping to run the water? Is it having an incinerating toilet instead of flushable toilet? So actually how to change your behavior to do something. Achievements so far, as I mentioned, over 130 evaluations. We were nominated for the Earthshot Prize this year. We already have a very strong partnerships. We've got 7 paying clients on the consulting side, with approximately between 150 and 200,000 outstanding proposal values. and the current, by the end of the year, we're guaranteed of at least turning 50,000, possibly even higher in revenues, considering the majority of that's actually been just in the last 3 months. Opportunity, well, we are forging a new niche into the ESG software space, which is projected to be around 1 billion, considering who our market is. Essentially, that's B2B, B2C, B2C, and B2G and the NGOs. We effectively cater for all stakeholders, considering the fact that biodiversity is impacted and impacts everyone. This allows companies to effectively have a new way of sustainability. It allows you to directly integrate biodiversity into any investment or decision-making processes, and effectively takes away the whole greenwashing concept. So, as I mentioned, currently we are running on a consulting model. Essentially, the idea of the consulting model is to allow us to build that traction, be able to demonstrate that the market is there, and we are finding it to be a market, and we are starting to get recurring clients on that. And the idea is to have the software, once the software is up and running, to convert across to a subscription model based on usage. So already we've had the discussions with real estate, agriculture, infrastructure, renewable energies, financial sector, the tech sector. The market is as wide as you want to imagine it. So on that, I would like to say thank you very much. And yeah, any questions?
Thank you so much. I mean, so interesting and so unique, let me say. My first one is very simple. How do you price pieces, and based on what?
Yeah, so it's a data-driven process, the same way as you'd value a company. So effectively, we find is it credible and auditable data. Every data point we try to be able to demonstrate the source. So when we do evaluation, we look at the characteristics of a species. So we look at carbon. Everyone loves carbon, but not all species contribute to carbon, or there's not enough scientific research. But where we can get the carbon valuations, we add that in. We look at two types of aesthetic value, which is more traditional way of valuing a biodiversity. We look at up to 28 economic values, including one opportunity cost. So, for example, if something is driving agriculture, such as the bees, as a pollinator, we effectively simulate taking those bees out of the equation to see what the cost would be on the agricultural activities. Other things we look at is employment multiple, tourism-related activities, insurance, entertainment values, beverages. We've identified a wide variety of options of sectors. Then we look at a financial hedge value, effectively identifying what is similar to that insurance you're willing to pay for keeping a sustainable population. And then those are effectively a value to the economy and society. And to be able to resemble or represent the value to the environment, we actually do a simulation of managing a population for 30 years to see what the population would look like, also taking into account the other species it interacts with and any other exogenous factors. So there's a lot of mathematics and statistics behind it. But I always say it's not impossible, it's just not easy.
I mean, these are all, let me say, economics proxy, right? Take into account how they impact, for example, insurance companies and so on, because it can be a good selling point. Well, my question is, biodiversity is so crucial for us to live. So if we are losing, we are going to lose our life maybe one day, because it is what it is. Let's start with beans. So my question is, it's also take into account that these species can be extinguished, because this is what you're doing today, and extinguishing them means a huge problem for entire society.
Yeah, so essentially that's what we're trying to represent, is that value at risk. So we did, for example, a case study of 4 species on the British Columbian coast, the harbour seal, the short-tailed albatross, the Chinook salmon, and the southern resident killer whale pod. Now, on those 4 species alone, if there's unsustainable fishing, because effectively the fishing industry takes out the low trophic species, and that's what all these others are dependent on. You take away too many of the lower trophic species, you put all these others at risk. On those 4 alone, you'd be putting close to 1 billion euros at risk. because effectively you take away their food, how they're going to survive. So what this allows you to understand is what is that value at risk. Now, if you're a bank, for example, you have the fishing company say we need a loan to buy a new vessel. You now understand that if they pursue an unsustainable fishing practice, then you're exposing yourself to a claim of close to €1 billion. What do you do? Well, either you can tell them, change the vessel, go for something that's greener, or change your method of fishing, or charge a premium. So that way you're effectively giving the tools to people who have the ability, who are the financiers, to actually make a change in habits. Because essentially, yeah, once say the southern resident killer whale population is gone, it's gone. You can't replace it. Those killer whales have value. They have value to the economy, they have value to society, and they have a value to the environment. And if you lose that value, effectively, that's why I call it the value at risk. So you can actually hold people accountable for damage that's being incurred or future damage, or reward them for the positive impact they're having by trying to benefit their population.
Let me ask you the last. They are pretty much together. The first way, if I'm putting myself as an investor, right? Invest in ESG, for example. We invest in everything that can have a direct or indirect impact to the environment, social, governance, whatever it is. In your case, if I'm going to use your platform, how your platform drives me to make the right assumption and maybe using the money in the right way?
Well, if for example you are looking at investing in a property development or reforestation project, even say you're looking at the positive impact, you've got a reforestation company has come to you and said, we're going to plant trees. Now, what the evaluator allows you to do is then to see, okay, at this location, these are the species that should be there. If the species are there, this is the value that you'd be creating through reforestation. If the company then comes along and says, oh, it's going to be only pine trees, nothing else, then effectively that reforestation is not creating the impact that you wanted to create. It's going to probably end up having a negative impact. So it would allow you to make an informed decision of saying, am I going to invest in this reforestation project? What is the value or what's the value of the impact of actually investing in the reforestation project? Or is there another reforestation project that's got a greater impact because they are actually managing the forest properly? So it gives that impact investor the ability to actually see to actually assess a project the same way as that if assess a company normally, and then to be able to say, okay, we've invested in you. After a year, after 2 years, what is the value of the biodiversity? And guess what? I can calculate a biodiversity ROI, which is something that's not been done before, and is something more than what you can do with just a biodiversity metric.
I do love it. I mean, do believe we should change the way how we consider value. Today, we are still considering value on your basis or constant growth and making money and delivering profit. We are extremely still completely focused on shareholders and very, very little on stakeholders. So I do hope what you're doing can move the narrative to something more actually concrete than just money, because money at the end of the day can't do anything if we in 100 years' time we can't live in this world anymore. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Ernest, I think you are the last one, but not the least. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Max. Thank you.
Please, if you want to give an introduction, and pretty much today we have been covering almost the globe, and we get into the business. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Yes, I've been a serial entrepreneur for almost 30 years in a diversity of different businesses. I spent 20 years in the U.S. aquaculture industry. I took my first company public. We were the first U.S. public company in the aquaculture industry in this country. I exited 10 years later. We had 1,200 shareholders. So we've had a diversity of public and private experience in that industry. About 8 years ago, I left the industry to follow a passion in health and wellness. And that brings us to our current company.
Thank you so much, Ed. Let's go.
So what if I told you as an investor that there was a $30+ billion industry in the United States that had not been addressed by a single national brand, license, or franchise? And the demographic solely responsible for this market controls over 80% of all consumer spending. The market I'm referring to is women's health and wellness, specifically sexual wellness, age management, and beauty. There are over 95 million women ages 25 to 70 years old in the US that represent our total available market. And out of that, there are over 30 million women who are seeking non-surgical, minimally invasive treatments, which represent our serviceable obtainable market. My name is Ernest Papadianis. I'm the president and CEO of Advanced Integrative Medical Enterprises and the O Med Spas. We're offering women a new alternative to restore intimacy, health, and beauty by creating the ultimate feminine experience. We help women ages 25 to 70 treat and optimize their sexual health and wellness, slow the aging process, and enhance beauty without invasive surgery, pain, and long-term recovery, so that they can achieve a better sex life, younger appearance, and overall greater quality of life. Sexual dysfunction in women today is considered a significant problem. For many physicians, it's actually considered an epidemic. Over 50% of all women experience some form of sexual dysfunction in their life, including stress urinary incontinence, vaginal looseness, and low libido. Also, the social expectations on and of women in today's society are extravagant. Looking and feeling youthful is the number one desire and expectation for and of women over 30 in today's society. The millennial generation is actually seeking maintenance for aesthetic as well as vaginal issues starting at 25 and older, which has caused really an explosion in the market for our services. And lastly, 4 out of 5 Americans want to change at least one part of their body. And over 40% of those adults are considering non-surgical cosmetic procedures over the next 12 months. At Advanced Integrative Medical, we're creating the ultimate feminine experience in elegant spa environments exclusively for women by women, featuring the latest in feminine technologies for sexual wellness, aesthetics, age management, and much more. Our lasers, radio frequency, and electromagnetic technologies provide non-surgical, minimally invasive treatments as safe, pain-free alternatives to surgery. We also have a proprietary mobile app and mobile wellness platform that allow us to bring some, not all, but some of our services into the privacy and comfort of the home. We intend to create a national brand that women can associate with, as well as a reproducible turnkey model to be able to license nationally as well as internationally in the future. Our competition is very fractionated between 3 entities or sectors in the industry: plastic surgery, typical med spas, and OBGYNs. None of these sectors provide the menu of services that we do. You range from everything from plastic surgery, which are very invasive, painful, and expensive, to OBGYNs, which are very cold, medical. They have no solutions truly for many of the sexual dysfunction issues. And all 3 really present the issue of not having a brand presence nationally, which is a very important parameter to our business model. So we've put together an exceptional team of both business and medical professionals. We have a seasoned, successful management team that has public and private company experience and a history of providing our investors with lucrative exits in both. We're looking for a $5 million capital investment for a 35% equity interest in our company to give us 18 months of runway for development and operation of our first 3 clinics, development of our mobile app, and our mobile wellness platform. Our investors can expect annual distributions, a projected year 4 return on investment of 164%, and a planned exit after year 3, targeted an IPO. We're confident that if we're capitally funded, that we can produce outstanding revenues over a 5-year period in the $80 million range. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ernest. I do believe the market is huge, but let me say, it's not usual talking about sexual wellness and health. There are actually countries where you can't talk at all, otherwise you risk go to jail. But we live in a free country. We are very happy. We stay in Europe. We stay in US. Talking is still free. Many other countries, Africa as well, and some place you can't even talk about this stuff, right?
Correct.
Let me ask you. It's something between brick and mortar and digital. Okay, how do you put all together? So where do you see the strength? Where do you see the growth in between these two?
So there are 3 platforms right now. There's the retail side, which is the clinical. There's the telehealth side that accesses people obviously on Zoom and the phone, which has severe limitations obviously in any medical practice, but it is a segue to get from one to the other. And then the final one, which is really where a lot of medicine is heading, at least in the US, is to in-home services. So we don't anticipate all of our clients certainly will take advantage of that, but certainly our more affluent clientele wants services to come into the home. So the more we get, the more as we go along further in the business, and the upper echelon will become at-home clients.
In terms of marketing and branding, because for what is my understanding, you want to very much focus on branding and to
Correct.
create how they are going to expand. For example, are you going to use some kind of franchising? How is going to happen?
Yeah, we're going to be, the franchising model has a lot of limitations in it, so we're going to license our technology or our business model. Our vision is to create a turnkey operation. So once we've established our operations in our first three clinics, we're going to create a licensing campaign. And I've spoken to so many different physicians and OBGYNs that want to get into functional medicine. They're just frustrated with dealing with insurance companies and big pharma and just being basically script writers. And so they want to get into solving these problems and helping their patients, at the foundational level. But they don't know how to make the break. So what we want to provide is the training, the brand, the marketing, the products, and down the road to actually do the purchasing of medical real estate that we can create a lease back. So if you're an OBGYN that has your practice and you want to make that break, everything is turnkey. You have a location that we've done the demographics for. You have a seasoned model that you'll get your products, your services, even your training to be able to come on at our center in South Florida. So it creates an easy turnkey operation and a smooth transition for someone who's interested in doing that. But there are a lot of clinics right now that offer, as I said, the industry is really fragmented. And to jump ahead just a little bit to answer your question and a little bit further down the road, is our business model is really very similar to, which I don't know if you don't have in Europe, but Massage Envy. So what Massage Envy did is they took a concept of massage that was very type of mom and pop, or very isolated. It had no national brand. When people wanted to get a massage, they went to Jane Doe or John Smith, got their massage. It was very small scale mom and pop. And what they did is they created a national brand and they franchised it. And now Massage Envy has 1,100 stores throughout the United States. It's an enormously successful public company. Our model is a lot more complex, dealing with women's health, but there's the same opportunity because no one has a brand in that industry. And I relate that fact because if you're a woman and you want to, your female health issues are strictly isolated, at least in our country, to be going to an OBGYN, which is cold, it's medical. No woman enjoys going there. If you go to a plastic surgeon or a typical med spa, you have male patients in the waiting room, you have male physicians, male clientele in there. And getting back to your point about it's, in many parts of the world, those are taboo subjects. We want to create an environment that's conducive for women and open for women to be able to talk to other females, other female physicians and our medical staff about these issues. So we're exclusively for women by women. So our spas are medical in nature, but spa-like in environment. So it's a comfortable environment.
Let me ask you the last one. Unfortunately, we don't have so much time. What about identity? These people using. There is someone who doesn't want that others know what they're doing. Right? It's very pride. Are you going to deal with privacy and all this kind of, especially when it comes to digital?
Well, privacy in medicine is obviously a doctor-client relationship that gets, we don't project any of our clients on anywhere. It's a very private environment. But getting to your point, what you would find interesting is it's actually just the opposite in the millennial generation, because the millennials now, and I've seen this live in many of the shows, is their facial aesthetics that they're doing at 25 and 30 years old, and believe it or not, vaginal rejuvenations pre-childbirth are actually social talking points. So our generation, no. That 40 to 70 generation, no. They're private. The 25 to 40s, these are talking points at cocktail parties. So it's a much, much different environment. And now millennials have overstepped baby boomers as the largest living population. So that's the breadth of our market. It's not just 40 and older and post-childbirth women looking for solutions for sexual dysfunction problems and or wrinkles. That's what excited me about this market when I went to the shows, is the number of young women from 25 to 40 that wanted these procedures and were willing to pay for them.
Yes, we are different. The new generations are extremely different from who we are.
Correct.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ernest. Please stay, because now we get all together and we close because we reached our final stage. And I really would like to close in this way, very, very shortly, in a few seconds. Please, each of you, give a statement why investors should invest in your startup. And let's start back from the last and absolutely not the least, Ernest. Please, Ernest, let's start with you.
Two reasons. Number one, we're entering a huge growing market of over $30 billion that has not a single national brand or license. And number two, we've put together a successful team that's done this before. Not only successful return on investment, but taking the company to a public offering as well.
Thank you so much, Ernest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Amos, why investing?
Yes, what is important to know is that Twenzao is not just another fancy IT-flavored solution. We are solving an actual problem faced by many Africans for many years. We have a great, experienced team executing selflessly on the Twenzao dream for the past 2 years without any payment, yet we keep pushing. And we have a very rich understanding of our market and a clear plan of how to achieve our goal.
Thank you so much, Amos. Thank you very much for being with us today. Roy, Why give you money?
Yeah, so what's the question?
Why invest in you?
Why invest in lead spotting?
Yep.
Because Leads Party has the great combination of an amazing, growing, endless market, a tangible product. You can see the product. You can test it yourself. There's other investors. You can see you're not alone as part of it. And you can see, you can feel the exit strategy, okay? In a very short period of time, in a couple of years, we're going to be extremely profitable. We're thinking we already got in the past a couple of requests for merger and acquisition. We are thinking, but we didn't say yes up to now. And with as many companies in the market striving for this type of technology. So I think you have to invest in us because you see a good team, you see a major project, you see a great market and demand, and you can feel it, you can touch it. And if you're looking for a very reasonable return of investment, we can move maybe 5 times or 10 times on the money based on our prediction. Join us.
Thank you so much, Roy. Thanks for coming. Sam.
If you invest in Fractal Visions, 2 things. You make a lot of money, certain. Like I said, if the equation is correct, the business is certain. But secondly, because of ignorance of a simple, basic equation, a lot of poverty prevails in the world. All over the world, the issue is poverty. You will be helping a whole range of people come out of their misery because you are making, participation in the wealthiest pool of money, democratic. Anyone can come in. That was the whole point. We have a social angle as well, not just money. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Shana.
So we are an exponential impact company. We are the one and only company that is currently working on the financial valuation of biodiversity, and we essentially are therefore the only people who are able to offer this service, which is going to turn into a growing market. It's something that is coming. We cannot avoid it. So investing in us gives an opportunity to enter into a market that is going to become a very lucrative one.
Thank you so much, Shana. And let's close with Hristo. Why is investing?
Well, because we're changing lives. Yeah, because we're changing lives. We are changing people's lives. We're saving young, healthy people from depression and even thoughts of suicide. And it's a great business. We don't have any competition, very little. We've been doing it for 20 years. And in 4 years, we have projected revenue of 120 million. So we know what we're doing.
Thank you so much, Hristo. Thank you very much to everyone, to all our great funders, and to all the people watching our today pitch day. Again, we are back again, not next week, the week after, and from then, every Tuesday from 5 to 7 o'clock UK time. Thank you to everyone, and wish you a good evening for the one who is evening.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, everyone.
For evening.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Thank you.